I cannot believe that I actually have to say that.
Oh, okay. Ha! I will never get plastic surgery because, like, what do you mean you have to bind your face? Sorry about my mic not working. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Thanks. You will understand this look the more I get into it, I promise.
Half a promise.
Yeah, no.
So, Little Miss Dazed. The fashion magazine that I used to be absolutely obsessed with. And it has various variants. There's like Dazed Fashion and then Dazed Beauty. Dazed Beauty was originally about artistry of makeup. Dazed in general was about like more underground fashion styles and trends and things that are going on in the fashion world that were not discussed in magazines like Vogue. So that's where Dazed comes in. But as they've been getting more popular and with more eyeballs and whatever, they haven't really been themselves or like following their mission statement. I think this was in September. They posted about an article that they wrote called "We are about to enter the undetectable era of beauty." Dazed Beauty, their account being about editorial looks in hair, makeup, nails, all of that, makes this post glorifying extreme plastic surgery as like a beauty trend akin to bleached eyebrows or slick back hair. Very concerning. When uploading something about celebrity plastic surgery like this on an Instagram page alongside beauty trends like pink frosty lips showing up in New York Fashion Week, you are effectively implying that A, plastic surgery is a beauty aesthetic to strive for, and B, that aging has no place in the beauty world. Especially since this post is glorifying Christina Aguilera's surgery that makes her look 20 years younger. Oh my god, this thing is so uncomfortable. Why did I think that this would be a good idea? I will never get plastic surgery because, like, what do you mean you have to bind your face? Dazed on their fashion page has posted about designers like Kalina Strada who use a diverse range of models regardless of their disability or age. Like one of their most famous models is Rusty.
Good afternoon, fashionistas. This is Rusty coming to you live from CNN. A heat wave has descended on New York Fashion Week, and temperatures are skyrocketing.
And they are not somebody who you would normally think to be a high fashion model, yet this is highlighted in Dazed Fashion, or it was, as some good thing, and they tend to love Kalina Strada for it, which I think is awesome. It's good. And I like Kalina Strada a lot, clearly. I think that the standard of a teenager who looks like they haven't eaten in days, strutting down the runway in designer clothes and that being the standard for how clothing is showcased, the artistry of clothing and design is showcased, I think that that's dumb and is long overdue for a rehaul, which is something that Kalina Strada has been doing since at least the beginning of my introduction to the brand. Oh, also, Green Lady of Brooklyn walked Kalina Strada's runway for, I think, New York Fashion Week. That was awesome. Awesome! I loved it. And Kalina Strada loves colors, clearly. And dressing the Green Lady in Brooklyn all in Kalina Strada green was awesome. I love seeing that. That was great. Point is that Dazed has options that are impactful, that have an actual message, that follow their mission statement dedicated to alternative beauty and alternative fashion, but they chose to veer away from it. Instead, they posted about the most conventional and tired thing possible, using plastic surgery to defy the natural aging process. Also, oh my god, whoever wrote this article like really did as minimal research as they possibly could, considering they called Christina Aguilera's like cybercore Harajuku streetwear outfit. What did they say? They called it anime cosplay. Literally point to the anime she's cosplaying because it does not exist. So bad. They got roasted in the comments too, as they very well should. Ironically, I did apply for a job at Dazed, I think, that or I looked into it, and they weren't really hiring, which is funny because whoever wrote these really should be replaced with me. Thanks, I can write, and I think I have some good opinions. This is my job application, Dazed. Please. You need somebody else. Oh, yeah. It seems like almost every post that Dazed makes, people in the comments are just furious. Like, they're always mad. I know that that's what Instagram comments sort of look like these days, where, like, people are just constantly pissed and mean and awful. But, like, this time they're not wrong. Usually they're wrong. Usually they're just mean for no reason. They're not wrong. They're all right. So somebody was commenting about how it's annoying being constantly exposed to people who are hot because of plastic surgery, that it's a problem, that it's normalized, that like the only way you can be hot is to go under the knife. And somebody responded to that saying, the problem is craving it. No. No. Of course, when we are constantly presented with a certain type of beauty standard, specifically that being hot under the knife, and like these unnatural faces without any imperfections that are like touted as the beauty standard, we begin to crave it. So it's not that the problem is that we're craving it, it's the problem that that's all that we see. That is what's being uplifted, put it on a pedestal, and of course we're naturally going to crave it. It's not like our own natural desires are the problem. Who makes those desires? Who makes it desirable? When plastic surgery is rewarded in society, and when we are told that it is beautiful to have a hooked nose, lip filler, smooth, taut, wrinkleless face, we begin to feel that the features we are born with are not beautiful. It's natural for people to want to fit into the beauty standard. It's no different for men. I am sure you too, sir, commenter, crave to have a six-pack, defined jawline, big guns arms, a protruding brow bone as you see all over Hollywood. We would not crave it if it wasn't on our screens. When the Kardashians were everywhere, everybody wanted a BBL. In the early 2000s, everyone wanted to be stick thin, because those looks were normalized in our entertainment in everything that we consumed. So of course, we wanted to have it in ourselves. The problem isn't craving it. The problem is touting it as something to be craved. Oh, I ate with that. Yeah, I ate with that. I'm gonna read some comments. When there's more money spent on developing and researching ways to make women look younger than on women's health, we reached a low point. Our priority as human beings are so messed up. Can't wait for the "we're supposed to age as human beings" era. It's a dystopian era that continues to place women in unattainable standards of beauty, women who cannot age. Not to mention the support for invasive aesthetic procedures and the use of absurd medications. This shouldn't have a cool name. It should be spoken with the gravity it has. And then somebody wrote, "Oh, we detect." Yeah. In the end, those natural, interesting faces of age and distinction will become sought after because they show a life lived. Of course they will. Of course they will. Everything changes. At some point, a hooked nose is in and everyone wants it. Filler is in and everyone wants it. It's going to reverse. I mean, everybody wanted a BBL. Now everyone's getting their BBL removed. Be careful clenching onto plastic surgery trends. It's very dangerous. The obsession with looking younger to be more attractive has Nancy undertones because men like younger women, right? Girls, even Christina, is slaying regardless of what modification she makes to her body, but it's concerning that this obsession with looking like a teenager affects women worldwide and seems to be a side effect of the patriarchy. Possibly. Actually. Ooh, interesting. This comment, yeah, it was under the Christina post. Later on, and I will talk more about this, Dazed posts an article talking about how plastic surgery is a side effect of the patriarchy, which is interesting that they really just took that comment, considering they weren't really reading anything else that people were saying. Anyways, so this whole thing happened like months ago, but it's not like they really listened to their comments or anything, because a few weeks later they posted another thing about plastic surgery. The thing they posted is really fucking dense. It's titled, "Why People Are Losing Friends After Getting Plastic Surgery." Who, is that, That's not a thing. That's not a thing that happens. Anyways, where they highlighted a woman's TikTok whose friends were criticizing her for getting cosmetic surgery.
You want to know who your real friends are? Get cosmetic surgery. The friend switch up is so real. At first, they may be supportive, and then the next thing you know, they're going to be sending you videos of botched surgeries. They'll tell you, girl, you don't even need the surgery, girl. What you need to get the surgery for? You already look good.
Saying this absolutely wild statement, quote, they just don't want me to steal the spotlight.
And most of the time, they just don't want you to steal the spotlight.
What? How in the world did you get to that conclusion? I don't know about, like, your friends dropping you because you got plastic surgery. I feel like there's probably other underlying issues going on. Like, maybe it's because you think everything that all of their criticisms are attacks on you somehow. Like, it sounds like you're the problem. Maybe because, like, you think that their attempts to build up your confidence and, like, relieve some of the societal pressures of wanting plastic surgery. And then, like, it gets treated as jealousy. Like, maybe, yeah. Girl, it sounds like you need therapy, not surgery. But Dazed took it and ran with it, writing, unfortunately, the patriarchal lens of pitting women against each other, especially when it comes to attractiveness, may cause some friendships to be collateral damage. And then they connected to a study about how Botox can affect relationships because it limits the range of emotions in the face and empathy, yada, yada, yada. This is not Botox, okay? That's not, this is that has literally nothing to do with this, okay? It's literally just, like, mirror neurons in Botox because, like, it freezes certain parts of your face. So it's harder to, like, display a lot of emotion, which could slightly affect relationships, but it won't cause, like, your friends to stop being friends with you. That's not how that works. Okay? That's actually so crazy. And, like, this is what I mean, that one comment where they saw the word patriarchy and they're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to insert it in the new article. Stop trying to make us like this. This is not cool. What are you doing? Nobody thinks like this. This is one person, and you're trying to paint it out as, like, the entire world. You are stretching this shit too thin. Dazed also brings up the point that, like, people are discussing whether plastic surgery is empowering or patriarchal or whatever. But, like, that's really as far as they go in terms of discussing, like, the real implications of... It's not even just surgery, but it's more of, like, the real implications of the glorification of surgery and the standardization of those types of faces as the beauty standard. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Throughout this article, they speak about surgery as, like, this harmless thing and talk about losing friends over it as this, like, phenomenon, a femininomenon, which it's not. It's a problem when people's natural features are constantly deemed unattractive, and plastic surgery is being propped up by fucking fashion magazines like you, Dazed. The phenomenon is the idea that you need plastic surgery to be beautiful. The phenomenon that you keep perpetuating. Ooh, that jiggled. Is this what I'm supposed to look like, Dazed? Is this how you want me to look like? Ah! And then they turned off all the comments. Then they turned off the comments on their posts, specifically on the 2 posts that I was talking about plastic surgery. They turned the comments off. Good job, Dazed. Wow, you were, like, really journalistic integrity, huh? I guess they're sick of people calling.
Okay, so location change. Because I got uncomfortable sitting in front of my door. Thanks. I have some updates. Because I, like, wrote all of this out and started planning it in September, some things have occurred since then. You know, many moons ago. Literally so many moons. All of the moons. The moons have gone and passed many a times. Honestly, like, we could have lost a moon. You get my point. It's time. Time has passed. I need to address current updates since we are now in the post The Substance era. And, like, of course that movie has changed Dazed minds the minds of the Dazed employees, executives, or whoever the fuck was running that Instagram page. The intern, I don't know. Something changed when the substance came out, and it prompted Dazed to literally backtrack on everything that they've been saying for the last few months. They have been doubling down on like praising celebrity plastic surgery and like crazy plastic surgery shit, turning off their comments, not listening to anything anyone has to say. And then the substance comes out, and then they're like, plastic surgery bad. Literally speechless. It's just so crazy. And I know it's backtracking because they go back to like a similar picture of Lindsay Lohan that they used for their undetectable plastic post. And like they're discussing Lindsay Lohan's plastic surgery again. But this time they're saying that attributing her plastic surgery to skincare is a problem. As if what they've been doing this entire time is not a problem. As if glorifying plastic surgery as a beauty trend like fucking bleached eyebrows and long nails has not also been a problem. They don't acknowledge that. Nuh-uh. It's just saying it's skincare is bad. Like, obviously, but you don't think that what you're doing is also bad? Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you address the problems of like these idiots who are writing articles? And like the thing is, they did not have to write this shit and double down on this like pile of crap that is the glorification of plastic surgery as a fucking aesthetic. It's not an aesthetic. Paying so much money and making unreversible changes to your face is not a beauty trend. With the cycle that trends go in and out right now, surgery should never be a fucking trend, and I cannot believe that I actually have to say that. Isn't that wild? That feels wild. This is just the time that we live in, I guess. I guess like the criticism finally got to them. I mean, it could not have. There's just no way, because they were shutting off all of the comments. There's no way that they like finally listened to their audience. Nuh-uh. It was the substance, I swear to God, because they saw that there might be like a cultural shift. Their job is to talk about culture, visual culture, essentially, with beauty and fashion. Yet they missed it. They missed the shift away from like plastic glorification. Honey, the last time we liked that was Kim Kardashian's BBL. You know how long ago that was? You know how long? I was a child. The last time people actually thought that plastic surgery as a beauty trend was normal. Okay? I had time to make and abandon a YouTube channel in that span of time. How are you so late if this is literally your job? The problem is that physical flaws are treated as diseases. Beauty saloons and shops are now called clinics. The beauty industry is proper insane. I don't believe that anatomy is destiny, but most of the people don't root and grow their choices based on their needs and feelings. They are badly influenced by toxic role models, toxic beauty standards. I actually had a speech therapist to get rid of that as like a 3-year-old.
Liza Minnelli, lies.
Or however old I was when I started speaking. Bilingual household. Anyways, and bombed with ads promoting plastic surgeries and plastic surgeries stories of success. And often people put their health at risk. Very true. There was a time period where I would scroll through Instagram and all I would see are nose job videos. Over and over and over again. Just plastic surgeons telling me to get a nose job. And you know what I would see the most? I would see my nose on the before pictures, and afters like literally just the goyish nose I've ever seen in my entire life. So yeah, it was definitely freaky, considering it's a procedure that I wanted to do to fit in when I felt like a little outsider. But you know what? I didn't, because this is not just my nose. It's my grandmother's nose. It's my grandfather's nose. It's an ancestral fucking nose. Now, look, if you want to get plastic surgery, if you want to get a nose job, that's totally up to you. This is my own decision and my own feelings about my face. Just felt like I needed to preface that. It's weird, you know? Like, I finally felt okay with the way that my nose looked and the way that my face looked and was proud to have the things that I have. And then I got onto Instagram and I would see all of these posts and I would see, like, these tiny little noses that are contoured so beautifully, and then I would want it. Like, I started to want it again. I started considering it again when I was fine, perfectly fine before. But like, the things that we see and consume, things that are propped up to be beautiful, have influences on you, whether you want them to or not. They do. I used to love this magazine a lot. I started following it because of the alternative fashion that it was highlighting. They were surreal. They were editorial. They were focusing on the actual artistry of their creation and not based purely on trends or shit that Anna Wintour says. But plastic surgery is not fashion. And their insistence that it is emblematic of the mag's decline. It's sad. I hope they get their shit together. Subscribe. Goodbye. I'm gonna take a nap.